What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be working on this Craftsman GT 6000, and I'm going to show you what it's doing first. And let me just tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up changing the carburetor on this and the fuel pump because it's surging real bad. So let's show you what it's doing. Sorry about the dog barking. We'll choke it out. Well, now it's not surging. Now it's just running away. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the fuel pump and the carburetor on this. In the description, I will have a link to where you can pick up a carburetor if you have this particular Kohler Courage Plus. This is the Plus model, baby. It has a whole kit. It has an oil filter, which is unnecessary. It has the fuel pump, the carburetors, and all this stuff. But this is what we're working on today, so we're going to get right into it. It's going to be a pretty tedious task because we got to take off this whole front thing. It's just going to be some 10 millimeters. So let me get my tools and let's get to work. Okay. We're going to have two 10 millimeters in the front, one on each side. Oh, those are 8s, actually. Let me get an 8. Okay, to be honest, on this Kohler, there is a total of 6 bolts. Only the 2 on the front are 10 millimeters. This one holds the thing in, the front, the cover, plus the fuel line. So there's one more 8 on the other side, which I think is holding the cables for the throttle and the choke. Now, you're going to have to use a wrench here, which I believe I have my 8 millimeter wrench here, to get to the ones in the back here, because there's 2 8 millimeters back here as well. And you can't really get in there with an impact, so I guess if you had an electric ratchet, you'd be able to get back there, but I did not bring that with me. So we're just going to use our ratchet wrench, which this is Hart brand. I think they had a deal on them one time. I think that's why I bought them. But I believe this carburetor's just old and worn out, so that's why we're changing it. It also came with all the new gaskets, so it's going to have all new gaskets. And since it came with a fuel pump, I'm going to put that in anyways, because they go bad. They do go bad. Last time I was out here, before I ordered any of the stuff we needed, I did change the oil, so we're not going to do that today on this mower. I did clean the spark plugs and change the spark plugs. So now that we got all 6 of those bolts out, this just come off. We can let it hang for now. It's not going to hurt nothing while we get to the carburetor part. The air filter is just going to have a wire holder. You just bend out of the way. We can remove that for now. It just comes right out like that. Take the air filter off. Now from here, it's going to have 2 10 millimeters deep in there. So let me get my impact. There's 1. There's 2. And that's the whole air filter assembly. We can just move that out of the way. Now we have access to our carburetor. We will disconnect the solenoid. And it looks like we're going to need a Phillips on the top to remove one of the wires that's grounding out. Now, to be honest, the other solenoid, it should fit, but it has 2 other wires to it too. This only has 1 wire. So I guess we can look at that. Let me get a Phillips and we'll take that part off. Never mind, it's the exact same carburetor. This other wire right here comes pre-attached to this. So we're going to remove it from over there. That looks like an 8 millimeter. So we'll grab our 8 millimeter here and we'll just unscrew this ground, which looks like it's connected to one other thing as well. Yeah, it looks like it goes to one of the coils here. Now, sometimes getting these carburetor offs are a little bit of a pain in the ass, but we're going to see if we can't do it the easy way today. So here's our wire. Let's see if we can't wiggle this carburetor off. So I'll start by pulling it. I would like to pull it all the way off and work on it from there. It looks like actually down here, this is gonna make the throttle come off. So let me show you that real quick on the camera and then I'll do it. There's a little black piece right here. I'm gonna push over to unlock it and then just pull that out. That's not a Z-bend. So we should be able to get to that pretty easy. Let's attempt to do that. I don't want to break it. We get a pair of little needle-nose pliers here, because that looks like real cheap plastic. And with it being a Kohler Courage, You know, it probably is cheaper plastic. There we go, got it off. Okay, good, that wasn't a Z-bend, perfect. So now I'll be able to get this carburetor off, go ahead and remove the fuel line. And it came with a fuel shutoff, which is weird because this original machine does not have a fuel shutoff. Now, no gas should leak from this fuel line because it's connected to the end of the pump and the pump's not pumping right now. So we should be able to put that down and no gas should come out of it. Now we can pull it off. We'll work on the choke from here. I want to make sure, I'll just pull the choke out so I can pull this up here and show you this. And we'll just wiggle that out like that. Now here's the old carburetor. We'll put that aside. We'll start back with the choke, holding it in the same position. Take a picture if you don't remember how you had it. And we'll go right back down there. Oh, you know what? While I'm down here, I'll just put that aside because we need to take our Z-bend because this part is Z-bent. So now we'll Z-bend that out of there just like that. The old carburetor. This new carburetor doesn't have the little plastic piece. So it's a good thing that this one on this carburetor is not broken. Let me get my little pliers. See if we can remove this without breaking it, because we're going to transfer it to the new. I think at one point I had someone 3D print these for me. But there's that little piece, the little plastic piece. Do keep this off your old carburetor. Okay, so now we're going to put that on the new carburetor. That should just push in. Come on, there we go, baby. Let me get my mic fixed. Okay. Now, the Z-bend part, we're going to put in, line it up, because we need to Z-bend it down. Now we'll swing up, put the spring back in. I know, changing the carburetor on riding lawnmowers is a pain, especially when they're in the front on a dual cylinder like this. This is a big boy, so. Okay, now from here, let's put our carburetor back on. Hang on, let me change this gasket. I think it came with new gaskets. It did come with new gaskets. Triangle piece goes up. Oh, maybe not. Oh, the triangle piece does go up. I just had it a little off center. It has little holes, so you know if you had it backwards. Like just now I had it backwards. So that ain't going to mess you up too bad. Now we'll line it up. Put this carburetor on. There we go. Now from here I could throttle it in. Put that in there. Then this little plastic piece. And I'll clip it back in. Perfect. Then I'll take my little pliers here. And I'll put the spring in. That's perfect. Let me make sure the choke's working. Yep. Beautifully. Beautifully. Now we got another gasket here. That is wrong. That is right. We will hook up the low shutoff or the anti-backfire solenoid right into there. Swing back around here. Put on the fuel line. Put the clamp back up. I think I had one more gasket, but I'm trying to figure out where it went. Right here. Maybe a spacer if we needed one. It doesn't go on the air filter box because this one's here. Let's put this, ground back on. And again, that was an 8mm and it was attached. Oh, that's a little shorter, huh? Was that shorter? That's a lot shorter. Can I ground it somewhere else? Or should I just put the longer one back on? That's a lot shorter. Let me get a Phillips. I'm going to put the longer one back on. Don't like that Phillips. My good Phillips. There we go. There's the longer cord. This sucks because the other one looks nicer. Has the insulation and everything. Because I don't know if you can ground it somewhere else or not. And I always hate customizing, but you could tell, look at that. Brand new carburetors. But if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. So now we can put the ground back on. Fold over our air filter box. Put that back on. Get my 10mm. That wouldn't be a pain. Normally not that big of a pain to put these back on. Because they're castle nuts. Or they have the washer. Normally just put them on and screw them in. There we go. Sweet baby Jesus. We got it though now. Okay. Now from here, to be honest, we can actually put the air filter and stuff back on. This way we can get a nice honest test on it too. before we screw everything back together. Air filter's on. We can like put this back on to get to our fuel pump. Okay, to do the fuel pump, two 10 millimeters. Now most of these should be universal, but if you already took yours off and you're trying to figure out, the two lines go down. The outermost one goes to the vent. The other one goes to the gas. So gas comes in here, gets pumped through this, and out this way. That's how the fuel pump works. So we can put the new one aside for 1 second. Let me figure out what I did with my little pliers. There they are on top of the tire. Now these things do go bad, so it's not going to be the worst thing in the world for you to replace it. Now this will leak gas, so we'll do this fast. Let me double check that it's leaking gas. We're actually going to put it down and around. Yep. Perfect. That one's going to go into that one. Now it could go up in here. You can put that vent back on. Grab your 2 bolts wherever you put them. They're right there. And we can screw this back on. Put this clamp back all the way on. Now let's see what she's doing. She should run fine and not surge at all. So let's run gas pump into it. Perfect, perfect. She's running smooth. Now all I gotta do is put the two 10 millimeters, the 2 8s, and the hood back on, and we'll give it a drive. One final test. Okay, let's do one final test on this thing, make sure it's good to go. It's not surging, so that's good. It's working pretty good. Okay. As always, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this video helped you. And until next time, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, check out the link for anything you need. I hope to see you guys on the next one.